Netflix buried a Knives Out mystery anthology deal that would have changed everything, and the reason they killed it is something they never wanted you to know. A Benoit Blanc universe. Not 2 films. Not 3. A full mystery empire, streaming series, standalone films, rotating casts, a new case every year, all of it greenlit, all of it real, and all of it quietly dismantled before you ever heard it existed. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. This wasn't killed by bad scripts or a difficult director. The deal collapsed because of something Netflix buried inside their own earnings calls, something they were already panicking about behind closed doors in late 2022. The real reason is worse than creative differences. It always is. Go back to November 2021. Rian Johnson had just done something almost impossible. He made an original murder mystery with no pre-existing IP, no franchise safety net, and turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Knives Out earned $311 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. Critics loved it. Audiences loved it. Award voters couldn't stop talking about it. Johnson had a vision. Benoit Blanc wasn't just a character, he was a vehicle. Each film, a new ensemble, a new setting, a new mystery. A Bond franchise for murder mysteries, built specifically for the streaming era. Johnson called it a rep company model, rotating the greatest working actors in Hollywood through a world audiences already trusted. The pitch was simple and devastating in its clarity. Give us the runway, and we will build you the mystery franchise that streaming was invented for. Netflix gave them the runway. In November 2021, Netflix paid $469 million, $469 million, to acquire the rights to 2 Knives Out sequels, in what Deadline called one of the largest film acquisition deals in Netflix history. Rian Johnson and producer Ram Bergman signed. The ink was dry, but here's what the trades didn't fully report. Embedded inside that acquisition framework were active discussions about a Benoit Blanc anthology series, a prestige television component that would have expanded the universe between films, multiple mysteries per season, the kind of event television HBO built its reputation on, now living exclusively on Netflix. Development materials tied to the deal referenced expanded universe content across the Blanc IP. Johnson stated publicly, as recently as late 2022, that he wanted to make Benoit Blanc stories for as long as they'll let me. The operative word, it turns out, was let. Glass Onion arrived in December 2022. It was genuinely brilliant, funnier than the first film, sharper, more audacious. Critics gave it a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. Daniel Craig delivered what many called the most purely enjoyable performance of his career. And then Netflix made a decision that still baffles industry analysts. They gave it exactly 1 week in theaters before pulling it to streaming. 1 week. A film that could have earned $200 million at the box office, a conservative estimate based on the original's run, yanked before word of mouth could compound. The official reason was their model. The real reason was what was already happening inside Netflix at that exact moment. And it had nothing to do with Rian Johnson. Remember that $469 million signed deal? Here's where it died. In April 2022, 7 months before Glass Onion released, Netflix reported something that hadn't happened in over a decade. They lost subscribers, not just missed projections, lost them. 200,000 paying customers gone in a single quarter. The stock dropped 35% in a single day. Netflix was in crisis mode, and every content executive in the building received the same internal mandate almost immediately. We are not building universes right now. We are proving that what we already have works. The anthology series discussions went quiet in early 2023. Netflix never announced a cancellation, because you cannot cancel something you never officially announced. They simply stopped moving forward on the universe expansion, stopped returning calls, stopped greenlighting development, stopped everything except the 2 films they were contractually obligated to make. And then they stopped making those 2. The third Blanc film, no title, no release date, in what Hollywood calls development limbo for over a year, is industry code for We own it and we are no longer sure we want it. They killed it with silence. That is always the cleanest method. Think about what a Benoit Blanc anthology series would have meant. Johnson had already proven he could attract any actor alive to these projects. Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Kate Hudson, Dave Bautista, Catherine Hahn. A prestige mystery series with a rotating all-star cast, and a new case every season would have been appointment television. More than that, it would have proven that original IP, not sequels, not superhero franchises, not decade-old nostalgia, could anchor a streaming universe built from scratch. It would have changed the conversation about what original storytelling is worth funding. Instead, there is silence. A signed deal, a killed expansion, and a third film that may never exist. The question nobody is actually asking: who controls the anthology rights now, and what happens to them if film 3 never gets made? Because Netflix isn't the only studio sitting on a buried deal. Disney has a secret of their own, and it involves a property you grew up watching.